So we were going to discuss Ryan Giggs being linked with the Swansea job, and then basically Guidolin got sacked, and straight away Bob Bradley has been given it. We've got Barry, of course, repping the MLS show. Look at that, they are sensational.
Well, I thought so, yeah.
Yeah, very good. I'm just talking about your chest muscles.
Yeah, no. And you were?
I'll talk in a bit, because I always do. What do you think?
Not like you.
What do you think of the... First off, what do you think of the sacking, and secondly, the appointment? It looks like it's been coming, he's been linked pretty heavily the last week or two.
I think it was coming in the summer, and the American investors took over there, and like new investors, they want the no man in there, whether, rightly or wrongly. If you were in that position, you probably want to save your money's going in. Bob Guidolin hasn't started well. Swansea have had spirited performances. Chelsea, they've done well against Chelsea, done okay against City, done okay against Liverpool, but ultimately they haven't got over the line with a win. And he kind of said Friday, didn't he, if you don't beat Liverpool, I'm gone. He knew. And lo and behold, they've got a centre-half missing open goals in the 94th minute, which kind of tells you that it's good night. So on to Bob Bradley, doesn't surprise me. 5 years as the America, US men's national team, to give it the full title, manager. He's done a little bit in MLS, he's been assistant, he's done a little bit in Egypt. He's been at Le Havre in the French second division.
I actually did make a point of getting up his list of jobs, because it's an eclectic collection.
It is.
Of managerial appointments. Started in '81 at the Ohio Bobcats, as all good managerial careers do.
He was at a university team first, wasn't he?
Virginia Cavaliers as the assistant, Princeton Tigers, United States under-23 assistant, DC United assistant, Chicago Fire, Metro Stars, Chivas, United States under-23, United States, Egypt Starbeck, who most people know from Champman 96, 97 as having a whole host of Scandinavian superstars. Lav and now Swansea City. I wonder if it's the kind of appointment that, Robbie, that, if you're a Swansea fan, are you thinking, yeah, because it's not really, I don't know.
Well, definitely not a sort of signing that would excite them down there, but I don't know, they've brought in some managers before where you thought to yourself, nah, what are you doing? And they've done all right.
Yeah.
So, Gary Monk, when they first brought him in, I mean, everybody was like, why are you bringing him in for? And he did okay to begin with. So
yeah.
I do feel sorry for Guidolin. When I watched that game at the weekend against Liverpool, was it Rangel, the penalty? I go, what was he doing? You work so hard to get in the lead against a team like Liverpool, and then you just go and, literally just throw it away.
They could have been 3-0 up at half time. The chances they missed.
The chance at the end, I don't know the name of the player that he missed, as a manager, you can't, there's nothing you can do about it. You can't affect that.
That's the thing for me is, we've all seen Liam, it's been highly publicised, there's fallings out with the players on the pitch. Match of the day have been all over it, haven't they, showing him not shaking hands and all this kind of stuff. So you're thinking from the outside going, well, something's not right within the dressing room there. And yet the Swansea that turned up against us at the weekend, they were really good. They were strong, they were committed, they fit the system well, they really got in Liverpool's face. They didn't look like a team of players who had enough for the manager and they were playing to get rid of him. Because we've all been there when it's like the last couple of games and you can see them thinking, oh, another defeat here and this guy will be on his way and we can start afresh. They looked like a team playing for the manager.
I think it's not just the team, it's the supporters as well, mate. I was listening to TalkSport this afternoon and they had, after all this had broke this morning, they had a Swansea supporter on and they were asking him, what do you think about, Guidolin going or whatever? And he said, ever since Brian Laudrup, they've come to accept that every manager is going to make the team overperform. For example, if you look at the players that have gone, they've gone nowhere. Boney now at Stoke, he couldn't hit the back door with a banjo, could he? He's terrible at the minute. All the other players that have missed, Michu is another one. So the managers that have come in have made them overperform, and it didn't see that with the current manager. And the fans kind of get on his back, and then it was a case of, right, now's the time to go and we can bring our own man in. Which you can see, they've got a point. But on the flip side of the coin, the team are performing well. Did he deserve to be sacked?
Why did they sell Ashley Williams? The guy, the leader of the team.
months
talisman of the team.
It
and
looks
they just-
like a poor, whatever it is. It's not been well run. Because Swansea have one thing, they've clearly had a vision or an ethos, haven't they, which has gotten up through the leagues. It's got them playing good football. Because I think about how many teams come to the Premier League with this notion of no, it's the insert team name way, and we play this way, and we do this, and we're going to get fucking relegated.
But if the
every
clubs
other
want to
season, but it's
progress, you've got to
fine.
change it as you go along.
But yeah, I think Swansea have handled themselves really well. But it does look like the last since Laudrup was it Michael or Brian? I forget which. Like Michael. I do think they kind of, you know, they've just been throwing guys into the jobs and open it.
The Laudrup thing turned sour quickly, didn't it?
Yeah.
You know, they had Martinez started that way of playing. You know, Brendan Rodgers carried it on because it was the same. Laudrup come in and took it on a little bit. But when it went sour with him, and it did, you know, Gary Monk was there anyway, and he just kind of kept it ticking over.
To me, he seemed like the cheap. He was almost like the cheap
but
option.
He'd been through Martinez, he'd been
Yeah.
through Rodgers, he'd been through Laudrup, so it was for them, I suppose. Hugh Jenkins has always done it right.
It's like the boot room equivalent, isn't it?
Exactly,
Like,
but now they've kind of lost their way a little bit. The Guidolin came out of nowhere because of, you know, other managers were linked with it. I think David Moyes was linked with it. Brendan Rodgers was linked with going back there. They went for Guidolin. He kept them up. They done okay. Yeah. But the writing's been on the wall for him. Bob Bradley plays a similar kind. He tries to play a similar kind of pressing game and a passing game. And Landon Donovan, I mentioned it when I was on last time. Landon Donovan was heavily linked with. Behind the scenes, they wanted to get rid of him and install Donovan. He's gone back to play for Galaxy, so that's been put on the back burner. Wouldn't surprise me if he doesn't renew his contract with Galaxy in December. He'll come over and be Bradley's assistant.
It's interesting to see well. The most important thing that Swansea fans need to remember, though, is that this guy clearly backs himself. There's an interesting quote, I think it was early on in the year, I've got them here. He basically puts himself in the bracket as the top managers in world football. When I won't do the accent. When I have a chance to observe different managers, the ones that do good work, I mentioned Pochettino, Klopp, Tuchel, that took over for Klopp at Dortmund. He's a fantastic young manager, yada, yada, yada. We haven't even talked about the Guardiolas and the Ancelottis, but I'll tell you what, maybe I'm stupid, but I think I'm a manager in and around that level. I'm not saying I'm better than these guys. I haven't had those type of opportunities. But I think people that have played for me have always felt the experience in the team was different. The training was challenging, that there were a lot of things done to help them become better players and better people, which is all you need to do to be a top-class manager is to make training different and challenging, make people better people, and just hopefully someone gives you an opportunity at a big football club.
Done very well in the 2010 World Cup with the United States. He was very, very highly rated, and he was bounced around for some big jobs after that, and he stayed. Yeah. After the World Cup, he stayed for another year. His son plays for United States, plays for Toronto, Michael Bradley, played for Roma. He's very good for Roma, very good in Holland. So he is a decent coach, to be fair. He's done okay.
Does he have the players?
It's all about system. Did Leicester have the players? If we'd sat here 12 months ago, we'd have gone. We did sit here 12 months ago and go, Leicester will blow up, Leicester will blow up, Leicester will blow up.
Every week.
If he gets them organised, you know, would you say Bournemouth had the players last year? And Eddie Howe, the way you're playing, and they stayed up. So I wouldn't be writing them off.
So it's back to the manager making the worser players, for want of a better phrase, overachieve.
He's got to get a way of playing with them. He's got to get them to buy. The big thing is, do the players buy into it, like at any club? Yeah. If your players buy into it, they'll run through brick walls.
I hope it works because I think the thing with Swansea, I don't think anyone dislikes Swansea. No. I think everyone remembers them coming up with like the Swans alone stuff when Brendan had them in the Premier League for the first time, and I think that the fact that they play, you'll appreciate this, of course, from the same school, I guess. Probably they play a good brand of football. You'd rather have a Swansea playing good football and doing well. I mean, like being a mid-table side because it staves off the temptation for people to go back to Tony Pulis, Stoke. Brutal football, you know. So a good.
It's a bit of a long journey
like that now.
LVG.
No, you're right.
It's a long journey.
It is a long journey. No, you're right though. They do play. I like the way they play. They play football in the right way for me. And teams like that, I want in the division.
Yeah, I agree. I'd say that this year, I know we've lost a couple of games, whatever, up till now, but we look like we want to have a go. United, I'm talking about. Whereas last year, we can't do it. Don't need that smirk from you right now. Go back over there or something. But at least we look like we had a go. Whereas beforehand, LVG would just bring off a centre forward and bring on a centre half. You're getting beat 2-0.
I actually had the stat there. I think I must have deleted it off the agenda because it wasn't relevant. But it's
quite relevant.
He had a better start to his first
season
than Mourinho. Anyway,
Yeah.
not for now.
That is true.
Not for now. For another time. I'll just for Liam
10
to
minutes.
sleep on. But yeah, there's any thoughts on the whole Swansea managerial situation? Right to sack Guidolin? Is Bradley the right guy to take them forward, or at the very least keep them safe within the Premier League? Let us know that. Going to be reacting to the England squad. Always fascinating, always interesting. Robbie cares, that's fine. So that'll be good. Teresa, where we got
That's one of us.
Yeah, and then we're going to be discussing as well a little bit about Arsene Wenger, 20 years in the Arsenal job, and what that means to people like not just Robbie, but us, the other people in the world who care less. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.